Okay, so we're going to begin this practice standing up. So if you want to come to the standing position, somewhere where you can see, and hopefully I've got enough room. Okay. So we're going to be focusing quite a lot on the Kriyas, which is these powerful purificatory breathing exercises. And before we do that, we'll do some simple preliminary exercises, and then we'll get stuck into the Kriyas. So if you start by standing with your feet a good, generous hip distance apart, with the feet pointing forwards and parallel to each other, and quite nice at the beginning to just sort of spread the toes down, have a little rock forwards, maybe side to side. So it's like you're putting down your roots. Maybe lift the shoulders up and roll them back and down. We're going to place one hand on the chest, the other hand on the belly, just above the navel. And then if you close your eyes, and just pause there for a moment. Perhaps you've had a busy day. Perhaps you've been on the computer, or been doing various activities, and just take a moment here to really pause and to come into yourself, to come into your body, and take a step back from the busyness of the day. Imagine you've got like an X-ray scan, and you're scanning through the body, starting at the top, working downwards, and then moving back up again, and just noticing how the body feels. Notice if there's any tension anywhere that you can soften. And ending up in the head and the face, just relaxing the muscles around the eye sockets, softening in the jaw, the lips and the tongue. And begin to breathe a little bit more deeply. I want you to really think about breathing into, it's as if you're breathing into the belly. So when you inhale, the hand that's on the belly, you're going to feel the belly growing, it's expanding outwards, can expand quite a lot. And on the exhalation, the abdomen, belly softens again. Each time you breathe in, imagine breathing into the belly as it grows. The end of the breath, the lower ribs move outwards as you start to come up towards the chest and the collarbones. And as you exhale, the belly softens, and everything drops down again. And keep it going. And then make a gap between the lips. And we're going to inhale again, really deep, really slow through the nose, expanding the belly. When you get to the end of the inhale, hold the breath in for a moment. Notice how it feels to hold the breath. And on the exhale, either blow or gently sigh or a whispered sigh of the breath through the lips. The next breath in, inhale through the nose, really deep, slowly. This time when you get to the end of the in-breath, hold it there. And imagine it's like a step and you're going to go up the step a bit more. So you're just going to breathe in a tiny little bit more. And then again, exhale through the lips. One more time, take as deep a breath in as you can through the nose, expanding the belly. Hold the breath for a moment. And then exhale through the mouth. And as you blow out, just let the hands fall down by your sides. At the end of that breath, let it go. Close the lips, but let the breath do whatever it wants to do. And just breathing freely now, naturally. You can exhale through your mouth if you want to, of course. And we're going to do some simple joint rotations before we get into our Kriyas. So if you bring your hands onto your waist, gently lower the head and take a really gentle circle, slow movement of the head in one direction. And the next time, head draws down, pause, and then take a circle the opposite way. And then just gradually make the circle a bit smaller so you're spiraling it in. And coming to neutral position. So the chin is horizontalish. And we'll do some of the face exercises because we're going to be using those when we do our Simhasana breath. So we start with the eyes and we just make a circle with the eyes one way. Six main muscles in the eyes. And circle the other way. Try a left to right, far to each side as you can go. And then up and down. And then just blink the eyes and relax those muscles again. When we come to the tongue, we take the tongue in front of the top teeth. And we draw a circle with the tongue inside the mouth. All the way around. Opposite way. Hard to talk while I'm doing it. And then easing off. It's quite good to just do a sort of ooh-ah, opening and closing with the mouth. Because you've got that big, wide open jaw action in the lion. And then relax. Okay, so moving the shoulders now. You could release the hands. It's just nice, simple movements one way. Reversing, other way. One shoulder forward, other back at the same time. reverse. And relax. We give the fingers a little wriggle as they come up. Maybe a squeeze, release. And then a circle. Both directions. Up and down. Maybe a little side to side. From down. And then relaxing. Shake them out. Up to the top. Out to the sides. And then relax. Okay, so the lumbar circle, we bring the hands all the way so you can sort of fold them behind the back. It's quite nice. And you just do a nice circular movement there. Going one way. Reversing. And then spiraling in. It's getting a little bit smaller. And coming to standing. So on the leg swing, it's quite nice to have a wall. We'll do the right leg first. So you could support a hand on a wall, left hand, and just a little swing of the leg. Nice and loose. And then try the other leg out. You could even just keep the same hand there, nice and easy. And then placing it down, we go back to the right leg and we just give it a little bicycle movement forwards, cycling. Cycling backwards. Changing legs. Backwards. And bring it down. So I'm going to turn forwards to show you this one. You can do it with me. We're going to just sort of open the right hip a little bit. It's good. Looks good on this little tiny squares I can see of you guys. Both directions. And then changing legs, so going to the left, opening first. Reversing. And then bring it down, feet together. So we're going to bend the knees, place the hands above the knees and do a little circular movement with the knees there. Reverse. A little up and down. And then coming up. Hands on the waist will help with the balance. We're going to pick up the right leg first and do a circular movement with the ankle one way. Opposite way. Up and down. Pause, and then a little loose shake out. Hard to balance with that. And then switching legs, so rotating the left ankle one way. Opposite way. Up and down. Pause and give it a shake. Okay. We're going to bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips, soft knees. And we've got the ragdoll twist. So just a real simple swing, side to side, lifting the arm, bringing it across the body, maybe giving the shoulder a little pat. You can lift the heel to give you more range. And it can be done quite Can do quite a big swing on this one, if you want to. Maybe take a nice deep breath while you're doing it. And then gradually coming back to our start position. Now it's really good when we're doing the Kriyas. We've moved the joints around. Now we want to stimulate the meridians and also get the muscles, the circulation moving around a little bit more around all the different muscle groups. So we're going to do the Do-in or Dao Yin, as it's called in China, massage. So we make a fist with the right hand with the thumb on the outside. We bring the left arm up and we're going to start on the underside of that left arm, patting with this part of the fist and choosing how firmly you want to go. So it can be done, if you're pretty relaxed and you haven't got any aches and pains, you might want to go quite forcefully, but otherwise it can be just as effective doing tiny ones. And what we do is we come up the underside of the arm and we're zigzagging as we go up to try and cover as much surface area of the arm as possible. We're moving up towards the shoulder. When we get to the shoulder, we go just below the collarbone, draw the arm back, so we're on the chest, and then patting the chest fairly firmly, take a few deep breaths at the same time. Really stimulating on the respiratory system. We're going to go over the top now. On the outside of the shoulders, we come down on the sort of top side of the arm, zigzagging down. Working down towards the fist, the wrist, and then the back of the hand. We're going to change sides. So we making fist with the left fist coming up the underside of the right arm. Up to the shoulder, under the collarbone, draw it back, nice firm pats as you breathe deep. Over, outside and down. All the way down the wrist. Now it's going to be both fists now coming in on the chest. Can be right up the top of the chest. Down the center. And we follow the line of the lower ribs to the outside. Get to the sides, and it's quite good to get the back of the fist now as you get in on the lower back, the QL muscles there. Ooh, sort of kidney area, quite stimulating. Now we're working back around to the sides. We're going to bend the knees and begin to drop down a bit like a squat. So we're on the abdomen now, and we're going down to the quadriceps. So those big long muscles between your hips and your knees, up and down on there a little bit. You get the thighs. And then we're folding forwards to access the hamstrings and the back of the legs. Really go for it there. Big muscles in the glutes, the buttocks. Woo! All the way back up the way again. Let me give my hands a shake. Up to the top. Naturally, you find you want to get the legs involved with a little bit of a sort of freestyle shake around, and then it's really good now to have a little jump up and down. And throw the arms up. So get all the energy moving. We're going to do a little turn one way. Opposite way. Maybe a star jump over here. Yeah, why not? Start jumps. It's not yoga, but it's brilliant. And relax. Okay. So hopefully we're starting to warm up. I know I am. And we're going to get stuck into our standing Kriya sequence. So do grab a tissue. Always handy on these. We want to get rid of excess mucus. And have a good blowout. And then put your tissue somewhere handy in case you need it again. Okay, so the first exercise is called Kapalabhati. Kapala is a Sanskrit word for skull. Bhati means shining. So it's called the shining skull breath. It has this sort of clearing effect. You do feel a lot clearer. It also clears excess mucus and nasal passages. And quite interestingly, a few weeks ago, I was talking about the Bohr effect, which is the effect of the breath and carbon dioxide upon the acidity of the body and the acidity of the blood. So carbon dioxide, when it comes into contact with water or blood, becomes carbolic acid. So what happens is when you're doing things like Kapalabhati, you're basically hyperventilating. So we're going to be doing this. So we breathe very rapidly, and what that does is it blows off all the carbon dioxide. So there's less carbolic acid. So it's a very good way of becoming alkalized very, very quickly. Yeah, so which is quite useful. But then in the later stage of the practice, we balance that out by holding of breath and breathing more slowly, which brings us back more into acidity because there's more carbon dioxide, there's more carbolic acid. So the Kriyas, they're really interesting. They're kind of playing around with the acidity in the body and kind of balancing it all out and bringing us into a really good neutral state. We're going to be breathing fairly rapidly, both nostrils, forceful exhalations. When you exhale, it's the reverse of what we did initially when we were inhaling, expanding the belly slowly. On this one, the emphasis is on the exhale, which is quick, and we're contracting those abdominal muscles. So it's a pump in. Okay, let's go for it. Let's do 20 of these together. Hands on waist, feet generous hip distance, parallel, pointing forwards. Let's go for it. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Relax. Breathe normally and blow out if you need to. That was weird. It suddenly got much darker in here. Okay, so we're now going to do one side at a time. We bring the right hand into Vishnu Mudra. So the first two fingers into the base of the thumb. The thumb is free. That's going to close the right nostril as we blast out 20 blasts through the left. Okay, let's go for it. Inhale, bring the hand up. Closing right, blasting left. Long exhale. Release. Breathe normally and blow out if you need to. Left hand on waist. Right hand is still Vishnu Mudra. This time the ring fingers closing the left nostril as we blast out right. Deep breath in. Long exhale. relax. Breathe normally and blow out if you need to. Now the next exercise, the last few weeks we've been skipping over this one and going straight onto the lion because this is a little bit more in depth. So it's a variation of Kapalabhati where we alternate. And there is a technique. So we'll get the technique first and then I'll show you what we do when we speed it up. So basically you're going to inhale through both to begin. You close both the nostrils and you're going to blast out through the right. And the technique is you start to blast a fraction of a second before you release the thumb so that you end up with a very short, sharp, powerful exhale like this. You then inhale through that side, close. You do the same on the other side. It's a short, sharp blast left. We then in left, close, blast right, and so on. Okay, so let's just try that first, and I'll do it fairly slowly with you, just so you get the technique. Okay, so right hand Vishnu Mudra. Deep inhale, bring the hand up. Close both. We're going to go right side first, releasing the thumb, blasting out right. In right, close right, blast out left. In left, close, blast right. In right, close, out left. Let's do a few more together. Last inhale left. Close and hold for a moment. And then release and breathe normally. And you may have noticed, I always start in through both on this one. Probably haven't noticed, it's the first time we've done it. You breathe in through both at the beginning and you start blasting out right, and then the last breath is always in through the left. So it means you've done a complete breath cycle on both sides. So in Hatha Yoga, this is very much a Hatha Yoga practice. They're quite particular about everything being completely balanced on both sides of the body, especially when we're doing breathing exercises. It's what's called Swara. Swara Yoga is the science of the two sides of the breath that we're working with, and there's a whole load of interesting information about that. I'm not going to go into it at the moment, so I want to get into the next exercise. So what we do now is we start with the same alternation, and then we go a little bit quicker, and we speed it up until we go to our maximum speed, and it sounds like a steam train leaving the station, going out and getting quick. So I'll do it first. Over 30 seconds, what we're going to be doing in a minute, over 3 minutes, just to give you an idea. So start both as before. I get my rhythm going. And I get faster. Finish long, in through left, hold, and out. So we get the rhythm, and we start to speed it up. You'll find it naturally becomes very, very shallow, and the breath sort of starts to come up here a little bit. That's okay. And you're just going to your maximum speed, okay? So I can do it quite quick, because I do this a lot. I do it every day almost. But you may not be able to do it so fast, because if you haven't practiced it yet before. And also, if you've got a cold or allergies or anything like that, that can also slow you down. So it doesn't matter how fast you can go. It's not a speed competition. You just want to get to your maximum speed, okay? So we'll start together. We'll get our rhythm, and then I'll invite you to go off on your steam trains, okay? So left hand on the waist, right hand Vishnu Mudra. Inhale both to begin, as always. Close both. We're going to start right, blast out right. In right. Close, blast left. In left. Close, blast right. Keep it going, get your rhythm. You keep it going. And you can close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you're a steam train and you're going to start to leave your station. So you're now going a little bit faster. You're getting faster. And faster. And faster. Okay, go to your maximum speed for the next 10 seconds, as fast as you can. And now gradually start to slow it down. So you're heading towards your next station. You're going to get gradually slower and slower. Getting slower and slower. So you're going to come into the next platform like an imperceptible stop. So it's like an Indian train. They're really amazing the way they glide in. You barely notice them stopping. And it's up to you when, but your last breath is an inhale through the left, followed by a closing, and we hold the breath for a moment on that last one. We then release and breathe normally, and have a blow out if you need to. So these swaras that I mentioned are quite interesting. I'll just talk to you a little bit about it while we pause. So there's always one side, most of the time there's one side that's dominant. The one side of the nose is clearer when we breathe than the other. And what happens is it shifts about every 90 minutes, it shifts, and there's a brief period of time when both the nostrils are pretty even, and then it shifts to the other side. And through your day, from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, you may not have noticed it before, but you've got this sort of tennis match going on really slowly between each side. What happens for most people, for various reasons, is one side becomes more dominant than the other. So we lose this night. The cycle's still there, but we tend to find one side is clearer than the other a lot more often. And what that last exercise does very effectively is just it's like a reset button on your swara cycle, and it helps to bring you back into this sort of 90-minute rhythm. And you may find now they may be fairly clear. I think my right side is a bit clearer than my left. Anyway, it's interesting. So we now come into Simhasana, the lion's breath. We come back to our Kapalabhati first. So we're going to bring the hands on the waist. We're going to do, let's do 20 pumps. After 20, we do one more, and it's a long exhale. We inhale, reach up with the hands. And some people like to imagine your fingernails are like your claws of your lion. So you get your claws out. You inhale, reach up, really deep breath. You could be looking up a little bit. And then we're going to stretch the face. We're going to take the tongue out. Take the tongue really wide. Open the jaw. We take the eye gaze towards the forehead. This is why those exercises we did at the beginning are quite handy. And then it's a really strong exhale as we fold forwards and down. So it's a all the way down. I like to go quite slowly, but some people go quite quick. If you are going quick, just take it easy on your lower back. Always good to bend the knees. So all the way down. As you come down, it's good to rest the arms sort of on the quads there. And then you're getting towards the end of your breath. Try and get all of the dregs out, last bits of carbon dioxide. And then we're going to stop breathing. We've got an external kumbhaka. We hold the breath out for as long as we comfortably can. A good tip, as I've said before, when you feel like you need to breathe again, if you swallow, you can prolong the hold for a little bit longer. You can sort of trick the body into a longer kumbhaka. Okay, so let's do this. We've got hands on the waist, 20 pumps to begin. Let's go for it. Deep breath in. Final long exhale. Take your claws out, deep breath in, reach up. Take the tongue out, eye gaze to forehead, and a big lion down. Sometimes we get dizzy when we come up, looking down at the floor. So it helps to settle everything down again. It's super powerful practices. You can feel it pretty much instantly on this one. We're going to do the next stage, which we haven't been doing in this class, certainly not for a long time. So what we're going to do is now we're still doing Kapalabhati, but rather than these blasting out through the nose, the awareness is going to shift down here to the throat, to the glottis, which is this space sort of between the vocal cords. And you've got the Ujjayi breath. So there's a very slight closure there. So the breath is audible, and it's like a soft Darth Vader. Like you can, I mean, I'm exaggerating mine, but you'll just be able to hear yours. And we do the Ujjayi breaths. What they do is they force us to breathe a little bit more slowly. Okay, so you've sort of closed the valve a little bit. So we're going to do just 10, and it'll be a bit slower. It'll be a bit like, well, that isn't much slower. It'll be more like that. Okay, and I'll do them with you. So that's the first thing that changes. The next thing that changes, which is probably more important than the Ujjayi, is we bring in what's called Udiyana Bandha. Now, Bandha means bond or bind or bend. You know, you get like a bandana that you wear around here. Bandana comes from the word bandha. So it's when you sort of join things together. Now, Udiyana means flying up, and Udiyana Bandha is an energetic lock. So we're manipulating subtle energy, but it's a physical lock. So we're going to take these muscles here, the abdomen, and we're going to suck them in and up and back a little bit behind the lower rib cage. Now, I'm going to demonstrate for you very, very briefly. I have to show you my belly, which I'm not particularly a fan of doing, but it's the only way to show you. So we've done our pumps. We inhale up. I'll do it first, and then I'll show you the technique. We exhale down. Okay, so it's really powerful. We're not breathing when we do this. So what happens is it kind of feels like a vacuum is being created, and that means it all draws up and back a little bit more strongly. Now, a really simple way to get this is if you take your index finger, stick it in your navel, and then move it up about 1.5 inches. Take a deep breath in, a long exhale. And I want you to hold your breath out and then just suck the belly in. Release the belly. You'll feel it comes back to the index finger and then inhale again. Let's do it again. Long exhale. Pause. You're not breathing. Suck the belly in. Release the belly. And then inhale. And relax. Okay? Simple, right? Everyone can do this. No. What happens is when we get down here, we're going to do just exactly what you just did, but we're going to combine it with something called Udiyana asana. So you've got down here, you've got all the breath out. You then come up and you straighten the arms and you're sort of creating like a 90-degree angle here. Is that 90? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe a bit less. And you still haven't breathed, and then you do exactly what you just did. And because you created all of this space and you've done a really long exhale, when you suck your abdomen in, like you just did, it will naturally move up into that space. And as I said, Udiyana literally means flying up. And you'll know when you've got it because you can feel it flying up. It may feel a bit strange at first if you've never done it before. Have a go. Once it's there, you hold it. You draw the chin slightly down as well. And then when you need to breathe again, really important to relax the belly first and then inhale to come up. Should we try it? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Hands on the waist. 10 Ujjayi pumping breaths. We'll do a bit slower than before. Deep inhale. One more. Long exhale. Inhale, reach up, take your claws out. Take the tongue out, eye gaze to the forehead, big lion down. Get all of the air out. You're not breathing as you straighten the arms, lift the chest to Udiyana asana, and then suck the belly in, just like you did before. Hold it in that locked position as long as you comfortably can. And then release and inhale up. Let's do that one more time. This time we're going to go for it. We're going to do it a little bit more strongly on the breaths, okay? A little bit faster. Hands on the waist, deep breath in. Long exhale. Deep inhale, reach up. Big lion down. Get all of the air out of the lungs first. You're not breathing as you come up to Udiyana asana, and then you're sucking the belly in and up and back. When you need to breathe again, release the abdomen and inhale to come up. Really powerful practice, this one. So you're stimulating your internal organs on a physical level, but on a more subtle level, on an energetic level. In Hatha yoga, physical yoga, you've got two main what are called pranavayus, these currents of energy. There are five, there are quite a lot actually, but there's five main ones, and then there's two really big ones. And that's prana, which begins here and moves up, and apana, which moves downward like this. And you could compare it to gravity, I suppose. Some people do. This is like gravity holding you down. This is, I guess, I don't know what gravity that would be, drawing you up. But anyway, a lot of the exercises in Hatha Yoga are broadly aimed at containment of energy. All right, so the Hatha Yogis, they wanted to contain their energy. So another word for Bandha, another translation is containment, because they wanted to become immortal. They wanted to live forever, and at the very least, they wanted to have as much energy as they possibly could for day-to-day life and for their yoga sadhana, for their practices. So this practice, Udiyana Bandha, what happens is you suck the abdomen in, and you're gathering all that apana, which normally moves down and away, you're drawing that back up. And the prana, when you draw the chin in, I think I talked about it before, this is the bandha, Jalandhara bandha is the net that catches the bird, of prana. That draws the prana down. And where these two currents of energy meet, kapow, here. Okay, so it's on an energetic level, it's a very powerful practice for drawing those two currents of energy together. And we do this usually in the morning, and you find it's a great way for upping your energy levels through the day. I believe in martial arts, they also do, certainly Tai Chi, there's a lot of practices around bringing these energy flows together. Let's do it one more time, okay? Hands on the waist. If you're not comfy doing the hold, the bandha, you could just hold the breath out down here like we did before, or here, for as long as you comfortably can. Okay, let's go for it. 10 pumps. Long exhale. Deep inhale, reaching up. Big lying down. Now we could end it there, but there's another exercise we can do, which is called Agni Sara Kriya. Agni means fire, and Sara is essence, fire essence practice. Now we do everything the same as what we have been doing, but this time when we get to here, so we've got the air out, we get to here, we're going to take the belly and we pump it backwards and forwards fairly rapidly. So I'll just demo briefly. I think if I show you from the side, it probably works better. So we've done everything else. Coming down. Okay, so super powerful practice. Again, we're stimulating the internal organs. We're also helping to tone and strengthen this whole area. I know it does work, because after Alice had our first son, I'm pointing because they're out there having a fire, had Ollie after the pregnancy, she did these exercises and found she was able to sort of tone this area up again fairly rapidly. It doesn't always work in that situation, but it can help. Also, interestingly, on the Bohr effect, that I mentioned earlier is when you stop breathing, okay, you've blown off all the carbon dioxide, you've stopped breathing, but then when you do this, because it's quite energetic, the body begins to metabolize again, and it begins to produce more carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide then becomes carbolic acid. So you're balancing off your alkalinity earlier. This is making you more acidic again, which is okay. It's good. It's balancing it off. And it's interesting. It's a little bit like going for a run or something, because you're not moving anywhere. You're not really doing much. You're stood still. But because you've held the breath out and you've got this exertion happening here, you are increasing the carbon dioxide levels. And when you do that, the blood vessels dilate and it actually improves oxygenation. So sometimes afterwards you feel a bit tingly and you can feel the blood circulating a bit more. So let's do it. Let's go for it. The technique, it's fairly brutal. It's fairly simple. You've got the air out here. This is important that you're here. Main thing is you're not breathing. And you're just basically taking your belly and sucking it in and pumping it forwards. It's not a great magic technique. Get it moving. It may feel like jelly if you're not used to doing this. It probably will feel like jelly if it's the first time. Just try and get some kind of movement happening and see if you can do at least 5, ideally 10. If you can do more than 10, go for it and do 20, 25. Eventually we build up to about 50 off one breath. Okay, so let's go for it. 10 pumps to begin. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, reach up. Big lying down. Get all of the air out and then stop breathing. Coming up 45 degrees and then pumping the abdomen. When you come up, it's quite good to give it a massage. So bring one hand over the other and we come on the top of the belly across to the left, from right to left, down the left side, and around and then up the right side. So belly firm massage. So we're going to do it again, and I want you to see if you can do more pumps this time. So if you did 5 last time, see if you can do 10. If you did 10 last time, see if you can do 20. And a good tip is start off fairly slow and gentle and get a rhythm going and keep it relaxed, and then start to go a little bit faster. Okay, let's go for it. Hands on waist, deep breath in, pumping breaths. Long exhale. Deep inhale, reach up. Big lying down. Hold the breath out as you come to Udiyana asana and start to pump. And hopefully you did a few more. Maybe give it a massage. And we've got one more set. So we have more time. The next exercise is called Nowli, where we churn from side to side. That's very difficult and it takes a lot of practice And we don't have enough time in one class to do that. So what we do to close the set is we do everything that we've just done, but when you get to here, come back to Udiyana, Bandha, so you're just sucking the abdomen in, holding your lock in. And what you'll find naturally after the pumping actions, your Udiyana will come back and up. It will fly up a little bit further than it did before, because we've sort of loosened that whole area up now, okay? So let's really go for it. Make it count on this last one. Hands on the waist, Ujjayi pumps, deep inhale. Long exhale. Inhale up. Big lying down. Oh. Okay. Relax. Now, these are really powerful, energetic practices. So it's quite nice afterwards just to chill and to lie down. So I want you to lie down. We're going to do some really simple lying down asanas that go together quite well with the Kriyas. So if you ease yourself down, so you're lying on your back. And we're just going to begin by taking one knee in for a very gentle hug, a couple of deep breaths. And then release the hug and straighten the leg. And you're going to bend the other knee, take a gentle hug, a few deep breaths. And then release the hug and straighten the leg. Now we're going to bring both the arms by our sides as we inhale, sweep the arms up and back, point the toes as you reach into your fingertips. So full length stretch, a few deep breaths there. And then relax as you bring the arms back. And we're going to bring both the knees in. Now this time, place the hands either over the tops of the knees, or you could have them on your thighs. If you can't bring the knees that far back, you could rest the hands on thighs. And we just gently rock from side to side and really focus on your lower back and giving your lower back a massage with the floor. We then begin to make a circle with the knees together. And notice what happens on your lower back. So you're drawing a circle on your lower back with the floor, circling one direction. And then circling in the opposite direction. Maybe start to make your rocking a bit more pronounced. You might want to sort of freestyle it a little bit. And then we're going to sort of just move the knees back and forwards a little bit. So you're bending and straightening your arms. And the focus here is the abdomen, because we're going to twist. So twists go together with Kriyas really, really well, because it helps to subtly massage the internal organs. So you place the feet down on the floor with a fairly relaxed position. So you haven't got to have the feet that far back. Then we're just going to float the arms out to the sides like a T shape. Now I'm running out of space on this arm. Just imagine that arm is out too. And we're going to do a twist. So we take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, we're just lowering the knees to the right as we turn the head to the left. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, knees go left as you turn head right. If the neck hurts, then just keep looking straight up. Inhaling to center. Exhale, knees right, head turns left. Inhale. Exhale all the way. Inhale. And then the final time, this one, we're just letting the legs lower to the right. You can either turn the head to the left or just look at the ceiling, close the eyes and take a few deep breaths there. And as you breathe, focus on your belly like you did at the beginning of the practice. So when you inhale, the belly is expanding. Exhaling, it's softening. And we're then going to inhale back to the center. Exhale the knees left as you turn the head to the right. Also keep looking straight up. Holding it there. Breathing deep, breathing into the abdomen. We're going to inhale back to the center. And now bring the knees in. Okay, so you're bringing them towards the chest as far as they'll comfortably go. We do the same thing, but by bringing the knees in, we now get a little bit more of a deeper twist. So we take a deep breath in. We're going to exhale the knees to the right, maybe turning head left or keeping looking up. You'll feel it's a bit stronger. Inhale, knees and head to center. Exhale, knees left, turning head right or looking up. Keep it going. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, twisting to the right. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, left. Inhale, center. Final time, exhale, right. And this time, take your right arm and just place the hand loosely over the top of that left leg, left knee. And that weight of your arm and your shoulder is drawing the knees towards the floor. We're going to lift and turn the head to look left. And this is a little bit deeper twist, Jatara Parivartanasana. We're just going to hold it here for several deep breaths. Now, if you bring the head back, kind of flop that right arm back out to the side. Inhale the knees in as they go back to center. Oh, exhale them to the left. I'm running out of room, but hopefully yours are near the floor. The left arm, left hand is over the top. As we turn, look down the right arm, close the eyes, breathing really slow, really deeply into the belly. Now, if you release that left arm, bring the knees back, turn the head back, give yourself a little hug and a rock. And then we've got an exercise called Setu Bandhasana. So it's this same word, Bandha. Setu means bridge. Bandhasana is building the posture of a bridge. So you place the feet down, hip distance apart and parallel. You look at the outside of the mat. Ideally, the outsteps are parallel with the floor. And it's a moving bridge. So you've got the fingertips close to the heels. Ujjayi breath will help as you breathe in. Float the arms up as you raise your spine, raise the hips up. So at the end of the inhale, you've got your arms back behind you and you're lifting pelvis up. It's good. And then on the out breath, you're going back the other way. So you're going to float the arms, roll the spine down. We've got 4 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling, rolling down. 3 more at your own speed of breath. Now, the final time we're going to stay up, and it's quite nice to fold the arms, press down on the balls of the big toes and your heels, and lift the pelvis up as high as you can. And then as you hold the posture, I want you to come back to those belly, deep abdominal breaths. I'm going to take about 5 or 6 deep breaths there. Now we can probably keep the arms where they are as we exhale, roll the spine carefully down to the floor. Once it's down, relax. Bring the arms back in, back down by your sides. Bring the knees in and have another little hug and a rock. And interestingly, the last asana in the sequence is called Apanasana. I mentioned Apana is this downward energy. So Apana is literally the posture. Apanasana is the posture of Apana. So we lift the head, we squeeze into a ball, sometimes called wind releasing posture, because if you do it for a while, it does make you fart. And we're just going to take 5 deep breaths, trying to squeeze the abdomen, squeeze ourselves in on each exhalation. And then release, back down, relax the head down first, release the legs and straighten the legs. And coming into Shavasana, corpse posture. So if you need a blanket for relaxation, do grab whatever you need. If you want to deck the lights out, of course. And then just lying back, maybe turning the head side to side a couple of times. Relaxing the head, letting the arms flop out to the sides. And we do some releasing breaths. So when we sigh the breath, it helps the diaphragm to naturally relax. So a whispered sigh or full sigh, relaxed sigh on each exhale. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Couple of those, couple more. At the end of that breath, let it go. Let go of the breath completely. Let go of the body. Feel the limbs lying on the floor becoming heavy. Head heavy. The arms heavy. The legs heavy. And feel awareness of your toes and imagine a feeling of warmth, relaxation coming into your toes, moving up through the feet, through the ankles, into the calf muscles, the knees, the thighs, back to the legs, buttocks, the lower back, and it's as if the lower back is melting to the floor, releasing the middle part of the back, the upper part of the back, the shoulder blades, the arms are heavy, and that feeling of warm relaxation coming up through the fingers and the palms, through the wrists and the forearms, elbows and upper arms, and the shoulders and the neck. And feel awareness of the back of the head. Allow the head to become heavy. Feel awareness of the crown of the head and that feeling, relaxation coming down from the crown and into the face, the brow, the forehead. The eyelids soften as the eyes sink back, relaxing the jaw, soft lips and tongue, throat and chest. And resting in the center of the chest, feeling awareness of the whole of the body as one. And the whole of the body is warm and soft and relaxed. The whole body is relaxing. The whole body relaxing. The whole body relaxed. swaha tat savitur varenyam bhago devasya dhimahi dhiyo yona prachodayat. Om Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Now slowly begin to draw awareness back into the body again. And feel awareness of arms and legs, hands and feet, fingers and toes. And in your own time, when you feel ready to move, perhaps begin with experimenting with moving the fingers and the toes. And perhaps moving wrists and ankles, perhaps circling different directions. Just reconnecting again with your physical body. And then relax. Now we're going to lift the arms up gently, lift them up, sweep them back behind, and again point your toes, like we did earlier, reach into your fingertips and take a really nice big stretch out there. And as you stretch, take a few really deep breaths. And then relax again. To come into recovery position, if you bend your knees, bring the knees in towards your chest and carefully roll to one side. Can be right side or left side, whichever feels more natural for you. And just good to rest in recovery for a moment. And then in your own time, when you're ready, coming back up to sitting again. So at the beginning, we did this Chinese Dao Yin massage. Quite good at the end of this practice, just to give sort of rub up and down the legs, a little bit of self-massage with open palms. Maybe getting on the feet. Toes. And then if you come into a comfy seat, we do the upper body, we give the palms a rub first, and then similar to earlier, but we're stroking up and down the left arm, coming up to the shoulder, like we did earlier. We draw the arm back. This time it's an open palm patting the chest, and we take a few deep breaths while we're patting. And then going over and down. to the center, up the other side. Drawing it back through the chest pat, breathing deep. Over and down. And back to the center. And then lowering the head to palm fold. Feel the contact of thumb and fingers as you run the fingers through the scalp. Give the head a massage. Good way to wake up. Some people like to do a little sort of tap out, like raindrops with the fingers. Or a shampoo. Coming down the back of the head. Good to give the ears a little tug on the earlobes, maybe. Down the neck. The chest. Belly, sides, leaning forward for a lower back rub, and then relax. So we take up prana mudra, so we lift the arms up. So I mentioned prana, so this is the upward energy prana, and this is prana mudra, so the mudra is a gesture or a seal, it's a bit like an asana, but it's energetic, and this is the seal, a gesture of prana. So it's really interesting because it's like you're sending your energy out, but it's also the sense of drawing energy in towards you. So you close the eyes, imagine you're embracing the sky above you. Imagine you are drawing energy towards you. Take a few deep breaths there. And on an exhale, we're gathering the palms together above the crown. And we're drawing them down through the brow, throat, and into the chest. And pausing there for a moment, resting on the breath. When we finish, I invite you to join me in chanting Om 3 times. When we complete this practice by bowing forwards to each other, Hari Om. Okay, so thank you all for coming this evening. Thank you anyone who's watching on record, whoever you are, wherever you are. And let's stop the video. Oh, are you still there? Okay, I just stopped the video, I didn't. Oh no, I'm still recording.